Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about a screed from Trump attorney Todd Blanche to Alvin Bragg accusing him of prosecutorial misconduct. For doing what? Going tougher in his perception on Alan Weisselberg than on Michael Cohen. Let me start with the headline here. It is a total garbage claim. It happens every day that witnesses who cooperate get better treatment than witnesses who don't. And Cohen is cooperating, has cooperated, and by the way, has had not the easiest time of it overall. But Weisselberg, the whole point, and we talked about this yesterday, is in his sort of pathetic, glum way. He's just, sitting there and being a punching bag for Trump, basically, and refusing to cooperate. So the difference in treatment you could also call the criminal justice system. Moreover, also very clear. Defendants all the time say, what about him? And it's just well established. There's no, they've tried even equal protection claims. What about him or what about her? You went easy on their child support payments and the like. It just doesn't fly. The question is Weisselberg guilty? That's the issue for whether he's being treated harshly. And here he's pleading guilty, so that's a pretty good indication. And there's really no complaint to be made. And Todd Blanche, who's in the constellation of Trump lawyers, is relatively sophisticated and good, knows this. So it's all a PR move to put pressure on Bragg and wave around a red flag of prosecutorial misconduct. So he sent this long letter to Bragg, and he goes through Weisselberg, and then he goes through Cohen. On Weisselberg, he basically suggests Weisselberg met with them but had nothing to offer them. And you could read that in one of two ways. Either that he had inculpatory information about Trump but refused to give it up, or just asserted falsely that he didn't have it, or he had nothing. But of course, if you have nothing, then you have no currency in the system for a better plea. And the exact point with Weisselberg that's missing from Blanche's letter is the fact of perjury. So he goes through it all and makes it seem like they were, hard-hearted and browbeating, but not nary a mention of the crime that he is pleading guilty to, namely committing perjury in the recent trial by the civil trial by the AG, Tish James, where he lied about, it's really the same thing that's gotten him in trouble again and again, the 30,000 square foot 10,000 square foot apartment of Trump's that was misrepresented. So, really not a leg to stand on, and kind of fanciful. And then they go after Cohen, and they say he's an admitted perjurer, et cetera, et cetera. And, they've actually filed a motion to keep him off the stand. Again, like, this is at worst gambling in the casino. That's what you learn in sort of prosecutorial school 101. You get cooperating witnesses. They are cooperating because they know something about, the criminal conduct of others. Knowing something about the criminal conduct of others, it's very unusual for them not to have been involved in some criminal conduct themselves. So the standard playbook for the defense is to dirty them up as much as possible, say it's all their fault, or how are you going to believe this lying sack, etc. And then for the prosecutor, it's we don't pick our witnesses, and you can know that he's telling the truth because you've heard about the terms, and if he lies here, he would be subject to much harsher penalties, etc. Think Sammy the Bull Gravano might be a classic instance. Hardly a choir boy. But anyway, that's just so par for the course, and Todd Blanche knows that as well. So he goes through Michael Cohen and tries to really, assail him for being a perjurer, etc. And it's a preview of what's going to be pretty much their main weapon on defense. If you think that Trump's going to testify, okay, that cuts against what I still maintain as Littman axiom number one: Donald Trump cannot testify, will not testify. But short of that, what they'll need to do in this trial beginning March 25th is just totally eviscerate as much as they can Michael Cohen. And we'll see what a jury makes of him. You can imagine people thinking, really, this is the impression I get just, honestly listening to him. Yep, he was a guy who, towed Trump's barge before, meaning lied and did other things. But now is fessing up and telling it true. But the other thing prosecutors will say, you don't have to believe us. Look at all these documents that back up exactly what he said and put the lie to anything that the defense is telling you. But that's just, extremely, standard, plain, vanilla criminal prosecution with a cooperating witness. And so this letter from Todd Blanche, I think I called it a screed up top, and that's really fair. Any sophisticated actor in the criminal justice system knows it's a joke and he's blowing hot air, but he also knows that, so that means it's somehow designed for, to kind of influence the public generally, but maybe the jury pool, or just kind of put it all in the water. If it is, you can imagine Bragg will see if he responds with any kind of motion to the judge saying Blanche is trying to influence the jury pool and tell him to be quiet about witnesses in the upcoming trial. That's the sort of thing that Trump has been given gag orders about. You're not permitted to dirty up witnesses or influence the jury pool. You do that in court if you can. But so anyway, it's not a serious legal letter, but it's a very sort of vitriolic and kind of vituperative. Vitriolic and vituperative. That's two words kind of go together. But I could have chosen just one, I think, but that's an aside. And, the letter is really for show. But it does show something of the strategy, which is to go after Cohen to the jugular as strong as possible, and presumably in court as well. But this now has the desired effect of being out in the public. Maybe rattling Cohen, maybe rattling Bragg. Doubtful, though. These are, they've been through the fires on this kind of stuff, but certainly not a serious legal effort to claim misconduct. There's no cases in there. No, really, the misconduct even that he's claiming is you were nicer to him, the cooperating witness, than to him, the non-cooperating witness, which happens 50 times a day in the New York state courts and courts around the nation. So there you have it. Talk to you later. Hi, everyone. Harry here with a really exciting announcement. Talking Feds is bringing our lively discussions with prominent national figures live to San Diego. Talking San Diego is a new series of conversations with some of the country's most interesting and bright minds from the worlds of politics, public policy, law, and more. Our first event is just around the corner. Join me for a conversation with Congressman Jamie Raskin on Monday, March 18th at 2 o'clock in downtown San Diego. You can click the description box below for more information on the event and the series and find out how to purchase tickets, which are going fast. I can't wait to have some of our most well-known friends of the podcast join me in person before a live audience. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.